Fox 19 Now starts with breaking news.
Breaking right now, police and emergency crews, they all have been called to over the Rhine for a shooting where 4 people have been shot. 3 of them are minors.
Yeah, this happened near the Somerset Bar on East McMicken, if you know where that is. Fox 19 Now reporter Chancellor Wynn is live there now gathering new information for us on what happened. Chance.
Guys, this investigation is still ongoing. We're learning new details almost minute by minute right now, but I think the crucial facts here are that you mentioned is 4 people have been shot. 3 of those victims are under the age of 18, but they are all expected to be okay. I want you to take a look behind me because this is what is really standing out with this crime scene. Not only does the crime scene stretch for multiple blocks along East McMicken, but take a look at how many evidence markers there are laying in the road. This is in East McMicken. That intersection right there is, we believe, Lang Street, possibly Moore Street. It's tough to tell from this type of distance here, but you can see the amount of the police presence here and over the Rhine. Of course, this being in the middle of the day, making it neighbors and people here very scared. We actually spoke with a bar in this area, and he says that they've been here for quite some time and they've never seen a scene quite like this, especially in the middle of the day, and they heard multiple gunshots being fired. Now, one of the other tidbits of information that police said earlier this afternoon was right around that intersection, they believe the bullets were being shot from roughly that intersection at Lang Street east, down East McMicken towards Main Street. So we are right here in the middle of the crime scene. Of course, we are learning more information. Officers are going to be giving us more details here shortly, but 4 people have been shot. 3 of those victims are under the age of 18, but the good news is everyone is expected to be okay. Reporting live and over the Rhine, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 18 Now.
Chance, I see a lot of people down there on the other side of that crime tape. I don't know if you can get down that way. It looks like maybe some people were talking. Maybe you can just grab a couple people and get back with us when we go back to you the next time. Maybe some people saw or heard something, like you said. So we'll see you just a little bit. Chance, thanks. We are following this breaking news right now. Here's a live look at OTR where police are on scene. We are told that 4 people were shot. 3 are underage. This is happening right now on East McMicken near Somerset Bar.
Now, thankfully, we are told that the injuries are all expected to be non-life-threatening. Rob Williams just got to that scene and is working to talk with people in the area. He's going to be live for us coming up.
Well, a few of the things that the chief mentioned that stood out to me were the security cameras and the fact that the 3 juveniles were not with the the person who was in their mid-20s. And I want you to take a look behind me real quick because you can see the plethora of shell casings, but there's one right here on this busted out window here. You can see the letter L. That's one of the shell casings. And the fact that the children, the 3 juvenile victims, were not walking with the person in their mid-20s, you can see how collateral damage could easily happen because these shell casings are not isolated to a specific area. They stretch down the street, one of them even striking this window inside of the building. Now, we don't know if anybody was hurt inside of there, but you can imagine the fear and the type of collateral damage that could happen. And then moving on to that black 4-door Hyundai that police are searching for with the dark windows, the chief mentioned that there is going to be a surveillance video, or at least a picture that they're going to be able to give to us so we can let the viewers know to be on the lookout for this vehicle. But this blue building here where that window is shot out at, it has multiple cameras and signs that state 24-hour surveillance video. When I first arrived here, which was quite some time ago, probably around 4:30 or so, maybe a little bit after that, I heard an officer saying that he had already collected surveillance video from inside of this building. And this is a building that's like a mixed-use property. There are residents there, also a few businesses as well. But Rob mentioning Somerset, the bar here, he says he goes there. I've been here many of times as well. I spoke to a couple neighbors in this area that live across the street from Somerset Bar. They elected not to go on camera because one of them even telling me that she was fearful of retaliation. She did not want to get shot. But what they said to me was, this type of shootings, this type of violence usually does not stretch this far down East McMicken. They say they see a lot of traffic, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of vehicles driving through here. But of course, with the security cameras being in this area, because there are quite a few businesses here, you have Somerset Bar, you have this mixed-use building with the surveillance cameras on the outside of it facing multiple directions. So it really does have a 360 view of East McMicken Avenue here. So that's going to give police a little bit of a leg up in being able to have this 59 or so shell casings in the street. The police chief saying the majority of those shell casings, or the majority of those evidence markers, are shell casings. Having that aerial view, that surveillance video, is going to really help the police not only know the type of suspects and the vehicle that they're driving, but also get a better understanding as to really how they were firing shots into the public in this area, which is, I think, possibly the biggest fear for people living in this area is that there was a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 15-year-old walking down the sidewalk who were shot by a drive-by shooting. And of course, it also struck the building. It broke that window there. We see the person inside of there is right now cleaning up the mess. They were just vacuuming up the glass shavings that were on the window seal right now. It looks like they're scraping out the rest of that window, which was shot out during this drive-by shooting. But of course, let's take a look back at the street here, because I know we've shown you multiple times the amount of shell casings, but I want you to really pay attention this time to how far these shell casings stretch. As that vehicle was driving, if they were shooting from that vehicle, you can see, I mean, from right here where we're standing in front of Somerset Bar, all the way about another block down to where Rob is standing around Lang Avenue, those 59 evidence markers really stretch across the street, both sides of the street, the sidewalks, windowsills. Really a large scene here. The fact that it wasn't an isolated incident, that it really did stretch this amount of area here. I mean, I know the crime scene itself covers 4 to 5 blocks down East McMicken from roughly where Rob is on Lang. I think it even stretches further beyond where Rob is, further west. And then from here, east all the way to Main Street. That's a 4 to 5 block area that has been impacted by this. And there are multiple businesses, residents, and people who live in this area. I spoke to that woman who did not want to go on camera. She said she was inside of her house at her sink, and when she heard the shots, she says she thought it was firecrackers. I know we hear that all the time, but that just shows you how many shots were really fired here. But of course, we're going to be out on this scene for quite some time, still trying to speak with more neighbors and police. But for now, reporting live and over the Rhine, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 19 Now.
All right, Chance, thanks. You know, Chancellor there's on the scene.
Yeah, Rob, Tricia, when I spoke with you last, I had mentioned that the 2 kids were struck by a vehicle in between the intersection. We do know that the 3-year-old was pronounced dead and that the 9-year-old has now been transported to Children's Hospital. But I do want to show you something new on the scene. We're going to take a zoomed-in look. You can actually see the scooter that is laying there in the middle of the road. Captain Joe Richardson said that both of the children were on this scooter when they were struck by the car. We do want to note that this happened right here on the intersection 1st and Hayward. Captain Richardson says the driver is cooperative, that the driver has stayed at the scene. It's been in one of the police cars as they are continuing to investigate this. But again, this is a very active scene. We've actually were closer to that intersection when I first arrived here, but police have actually asked us to take a step back as they continue to put more caution tape up, as this remains an active investigation. Of course, we're going to keep you updated as soon as we know more. For now, I'm going to send it back to you in studio.
She came flying down the steps. She's like, "What the was that?" And I was like, "I really don't know."
Cinnamon, a Westwood resident, says the glass of her front door was smashed last night just after 10 p.m.
My ring motion sensor goes off, and a couple of seconds later, I just hear really loud glass shattering.
This is footage of the incident caught on her Ring doorbell. You can even see several people running just after the glass shatters. Cinnamon says there were 5 people involved, but no one has been identified.
I seen people running away, and I wanted to chase after them, but I didn't have any shoes on, you know, because I'm chilling at the house, and there's just a pile of glass there, so I couldn't get through it.
Cinnamon says she filed a police report with CPD District 3 last night, and today she purchased a 3rd Ring doorbell camera, adding that the entire incident was alarming.
Oh, I was angry. That's really all the feelings I had. I mean, I was shocked and my heart was racing and everything.
As for the glass door, she says it'll cost $600 to replace. And she says it's below her homeowner's deductible, so it won't be covered by insurance. Cinnamon says she has an important message for those involved to close in on.
Well, whether you get caught or not, karma's gonna get you.
It is really starting to feel like summer, and it will look a lot more like summer as pools open for the summer. City Recreation Pools Recreation Commission plans to open 3 pools this weekend. So you can go check out Dunham Auto Arm Letter Pool, Mackay Pool, and Oakley Pool.
Kids come here, get together, have fun. Don't got to worry about nothing else, just swim, have fun. Man, I looked at jumping in that water. That's all I really care about, I ain't gonna lie. I looked at head first, stay in the pool, get refreshed, drink my Starbucks, and move on with my day.
7 more city pools will open June 5th and another 3 on June 12th. Much like last year, there are lifeguard shortages, and those will continue to limit swimming options. If you would like to be a lifeguard this summer, you can find the application on cincinnati.gov. I'm meteorologist Catherine Bodak for Fox 19 Now.